God dropped it on my heart, so I'm gonna drop it on you. And it's just like that, okay? Check it out, man. I got a jam-packed one for you, but I need you to take heed to the message I got on you guys today. God is trying to change your life, and the only thing between God and that change is you. I'm going to say that one more time. God is trying to change your life, and the only thing between that change is between God and you. Okay? As you guys come on in, make sure you let me know where you from. Make sure you get the likes up for me. God is trying to shift and do something new and different in your life that has never been done before. God has a plan to use you to invoke this change. I'm going to say this one more time, guys. Check it out. God is trying to change your life, and the only thing between God and that change is you. I'm talking to you guys, okay? And God is trying to shift and do something new and different in your life that has never been done before. So listen, you're going to have to wrestle with some stuff, guys, because...
Okay, here we go, guys. Talking about Nokia. As the market comes down. I can see comments on YouTube. So if you have those, go ahead and drop those. Otherwise, let's get going. Should be good here. Okay. Wow, the market is definitely ugly. This was also the case in August. Yeah. Basically went sideways all of August. And then October. And then basically July went sideways. June. That's not quite right. July and August. This is July. This is the end of August. So. Anywho. This one stock can change early buyers' lives. This is not financial advice, but based on how the stock is acting, some analysts would say putting $50 in this stock is a good idea before November 10th. The stock is Nokia, ticker symbol NOK. NVIDIA took a $1 billion stake for 3% of Nokia. Nokia is a $300 billion company, if you can believe it. They're very much relevant, and now more than ever. So let's jump into why they're relevant and why NVIDIA wants a piece. Again, this is not financial advice.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So a little bit of market context first. We've basically gone sideways all of October. It's now the beginning of November. So that's how that works. There was obviously a crazy run in the middle of 5% plus, but since now, since the beginning of October, we've gone sideways. And that's not totally weird. I mean, in August or in September, depending on how you measure it, you could say for those 30 days we went sideways, or if you measure it up here, for those 30 days we went sideways. So September was awesome, but July, June was awesome, May was awesome, and you know what? Sometimes there are months that go sideways. So not here to say hands off or anything, although right now is probably a little sketchy, at least until we form some. I mean, there's a support level here, so I'm not even going to talk about macro because I don't talk about that, because if someone knew how to do macro very well, they would have unlimited liquidity, right? So this is the stock Nokia. If you look at individual stock, of course, you can get a little edge. And Nokia has that edge right now. This is that $1 billion deal with NVIDIA. Strong earnings reaction as well coming into that. So those two events combined to form a lot of strength. They did have some profit taking. That's expected. If we zoom out, we can see how absolutely parabolic this is. 100% up since July. But even in the last week or two has been a lot of momentum. It's a penny stock. It's a $5 stock or so. So now it's holding, and that relative strength, again, given how the market is selling off, is notable. Okay, a big sell-off day today, and then a couple days ago, 3 days ago, I mean, really every day except for yesterday, the market sold off. So NVIDIA, Nokia coming down some with that. Notably, NVIDIA selling off a lot. So that just underscores even more how much buyers there are in NOK right now. So let's jump into a little about what those buyers see, and why Nokia was interesting to NVIDIA in the first place. So we'll go all the way down here and start with sort of, some similar tickers, just understand the space they inhabit. So in telecommunications, there's Ericsson, there's Cisco still, and there's Motorola. I mean, these are the stalwart companies. MSI, CSCO, right here. MSI, selling off on earnings right now, but not really a stock that's been playing well anyway. Cisco also pulling back, hasn't had earnings yet, but this actually looks pretty strong. It's just a slow-moving stock, obviously. So, if you do take a look at Nokia, take a look at Cisco in a few days, see if that earnings reaction is solid. It's actually more like 10 days away. This chart is a little bit confusing sometimes for me to read, but yeah, that's a full week plus away. But, sectors move together. So if the Cisco reaction is solid, Nokia is more likely to hold up. And then Eric, but also CIEN for optical networking. So basically everything that connects all these GPUs. I mean, another crazy move. I was talking earlier about with the Discord how it's such a good idea to sell half your position 10% up, right? So you sell 10% here, and then you're able to just hold the rest because you're not worried about little, this doesn't look like much sideways here, but this is a full, almost 2 weeks of sideways here, right? And even down, it's hard to really see here, but this is a move down. So if you're feeling stuck in a name and you're tying up your capital and you've already sold 10%, up, you've sold half your position, it gives you the just the free time, the safety. It gives you the peace of mind to hold half of your position and just let that stock ride. And with the CIEN as an example, that half your position would have gone up 50-60%. So great example of that. Now, with all that said, it's a great example to explain that, but now you can't really buy it up here, right? But we're not trying to buy it up here. There's a reason I'm talking about Nokia and not CIEN. Earnings isn't for a while. This is a full month plus away. But if this goes sideways, it's not really indicative of the sector being weak, just because this has gone up so much. So CIEN, there's These are not tickers I'm super intimately familiar with because they are so slow. MSI is Motorola. So that's CIEN, MSI, CSCO, that's Cisco. And then Ericsson, ERIC. So pretty solid earnings reaction, definitely for Q3. I mean, Q2 earnings reactions were not great. Q3 slightly better, but still not awesome. I mean, Meta being an example of that. So this is pretty solid, all things considered. It's not necessarily as solid. Even Amazon's pulling back with the market. So maybe this is pretty much near the gold standard for reactions. I mean, we've had some more reactions I'll talk about today that are just skyrocketing. So a lot of buying. But yeah, this one looks pretty good. So with all that said, the sector is strong. This is the company, Nokia. The NVIDIA connection is most important. And this is a level to buy it off of, about 680 or so. So that's the idea. If you like these ideas, hit that like. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord for $25, head over to stockscommunity.com.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 Learning the stock market, learning what I'm going to teach and show you guys on a daily basis, each and every week. For some of you, it's new. For others of you, you're getting used to it. But that's going to be something new and different that even the people that's closest to you might not always embrace. So God is trying to change your life, and the only thing between God and that change is you. God is trying to shift and do something new and different in your life that has never been done before. Don't forget that God has a plan to use you to invoke that change. Lately, guys, I've been waking up at 4 in the morning, and usually I'm a 5 a.m. guy, but lately,
And
guys,
Rivian.
I've been waking up at 4 in the morning, and it's been allowing me to spend a little bit more time with God, a little bit more time in my devotion. And sometimes the earlier you wake up, the better you can hear from God in terms of what he's trying to convey to you, or the message he's bestowing upon you that he might need you to share with others. And so God is trying to tell you that he has a plan for you that is better than the plan you got for yourself. But before God changes you in your life, he wants to change you. Before God changes your life, he wants to change you. Okay? So listen, guys, as you guys come on in, man, let me know where you're from. Let me know how your day went. Let me know if you made money today. I know, because I'm so proud of you guys. I know you guys got busy in the market. I know the plays that I called out last night in Discord, on YouTube, and everywhere else, they did extremely well. Shout out to the money team. We always eating over there, guys. And so if you did your thing, let me know. Matter of fact, let me know how your day went. Did you see Irene? Did you see Rigetti? Did you?
All right, let's jump into a little breakdown on Rivian. 70% year-over-year revenue increase. It's net losses, but despite all that, small gross profit on the quarter. Okay. They also have a Mind Robotics spin-off company, so we can take a look at that. But here we go. This one stock will surprise everyone. The company makes electric vehicles, and they recently had a spin-off startup company called Mind Robotics. Their revenue is over $1.5 billion, up 70% year over year, and they're eking out a small profit. The company is Rivian, R-I-V-E, R-I-V-N is the ticker. Not Tesla, right? But this company is a turnaround story with that 70% increase in revenue after recent Q3 earnings. Let's jump into a little breakdown. This is not financial advice.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So this is a little bit about the earnings. There's the revenue number, there's the increase, and you can see automotive revenue. It makes up the, majority of that. This is the spin-off startup Mind Robotics. So trying to follow Tesla's footsteps a little bit with humanoids and full self-driving. This is an industrial AI and robotics company. So they're basically going to work on a data collection project. And yeah, I also agree this is a mouthful of buzzwords, but I think it sounds like they're trying to do some type of Google DeepMind, humanoids. Okay, now they're talking about LLMs. This sounds like very something that belongs on TechCrunch as far as a early stage research project, which if you're a super big company like Google or Tesla, you can just throw money into these. But yeah, we'll see what comes of this. They're trying to, be like those companies, and maybe incubate some new little startups. But yeah, it's unclear what the Rivian IP is going to be able to improve in robotics and industrial AI. But these sectors are definitely big. And if we look at SYM, that's a warehouse automation company. That stock's done awesome. There's some little robotics companies that are sort of speculative. RR Serve soon is the voice AI one. Those are sort of selling off because they're in the speculation bucket. But Mind Robotics is private, so it's not really in the same category. Rivian, importantly, is relevant even without its sort of AI moonshots. So this is the recent earnings. And despite this company selling off and then just going sideways, for a while, recently it's looking strong again. So, again, on a year chart, this is pretty disgusting. There's just unless you're very opportunistic, you get a 40-50%. But in general, it's just, compared to Tesla, right? So much more clean when it does move. And then when it's on its, it's only backside in hindsight, but when it starts to drop below a moving average, these sort of moving averages converges. So maybe here, a stock looks like a breakout buy, but you can just sell out here. And just ignore it when it's below, say, the 20-day moving average, which is, it's actually this one. This is the 20-day moving average. But yeah, you don't have to worry about my chart. It's the most annoying thing in the world to try to decipher someone else's chart. But you get what I'm seeing as far as the actual shape of the stock compared to Rivian. Rivian looks way unclear, right? But there's a lot of volume here. So why am I talking about it now? Because when you have a couple big volume candles, specifically one, and we can see kind of how that acted here. You have a close. This is the close right now, 15 and change, 15.20, which it's at right now. You have a really clear level to risk off of. And we've seen that with companies like IBM. You can sort of buy right here. Here it actually came down and stopped you out. But in previous earnings, and probably in this earnings as well, but we'll see what happens. Here's another example. You get into Reddit, you risk that level, and, it barely drops below that level, so maybe you risk 1% or something, about 2%. But after that, it just doesn't look back. It's just chugging along 20, 30, 40%. This is the best earnings reaction in Q2, so don't think they're all going to be like this, but the whole point is you get chopped out for a tiny amount, a lot, and then one of them you just hold it. So that's how you can do well even when you have a low win rate. So that's the idea here. Now, if we look back at what they're up to, well, we talked about their revenue. We talked about their sort of moonshot AI company, which it actually is good. They have it. I'm making fun of it a little bit, only because it's so hard to compare to Tesla, but they have a huge head start. They also have 400 million from the software as a service segment, which is kind of surprising given they're a car company. So yeah, that's unusual for most of these electric vehicle companies. So we can jump into exactly where that's from, but I don't think that that is even necessarily the reason it's going up so much. I think it's basically the revenue beat, and everything else is just sort of window dressing. So deliveries trending upward helps, but again, we mentioned Tesla selling off on this delivery numbers. So even if delivery numbers are strong or beat estimates, it doesn't necessarily mean the stock's going up. So it's better to just look for, here's another earnings candle opportunity where it came back up, and, you'll see if it holds that level. This is probably one of the worst outcomes for an earnings candle opportunity. You don't want to buy before earnings because earnings could be bad, right? And that is what happened. The earnings reaction was bad initially, but since then it's just been very difficult to get into. The challenge with Tesla now is with Elon's pay package, $1 trillion pay package, that is also appearing to be a sell the news event. It's hard to exactly tell what's going to happen, but so far the market is red, so we'll see what happens. But again, I don't think you can buy before an event like that. So all that to say, this is common to lose a lot. This is the stock. This is the idea. This is sort of the gold standard of what could come out of this. And if you like these ideas, hit that like button. If you want more, hit that subscribe. You'll also get a free course in the YouTube post section on how to buy stocks before they go up. And if you want to join the Discord, I'll see you there tomorrow morning. Check it out for $25 for 7 days.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
All right, what else is Chris saying got cooking up here?
You see Meta? Did you see any of the things we talk about over here? Okay, because I need you to understand. I need you to trust the process. I need you to show up to film session every single day, ready to take notes and prepare yourself. Because what I'm trying to do with you guys, but more importantly, what God is trying to do through you guys is something new.
EOSE looking interesting now.
Okay. Listen, do me a favor, guys.
Does have that short report,
make sure you like, make sure you share, and do this. Tag at least one person that you know need to hear this message that I got on you guys for today, okay? Do not get it twisted. I want you guys in the Discord first thing in the morning. We will get busy. Everybody else consider joining the money team for next week, okay?
Let's take a look here.
If this message reached you, God is trying to get your attention, okay? And I need you guys prepared for the 100K challenge of 2026. I often tell you guys things like, if you give them the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. I often tell you guys, how you do anything is how you do everything. And there's wisdom and nuggets in those.
Basically, they have a collaboration with AI infrastructure.
Like the government shutdown, the SNAP benefits. Sometimes there's a message in those things.
And they also...
Sometimes there's something that we need to take away from those things. Maybe relying too much on the government,
are expanding in manufacturing.
Don't make me get in my bag. Don't make me get in my bag. Okay, remember, guys, God is the source. God is the power source that you rely on. Okay, so understand, as we prepare for 2026, meaning we're going to finish this year out strong.
This is a big number too, $300 million offering.
Bring to the team, any new people you guys bring to the family, to be ready to do a new thing.
We'll see. All right, so if you guys have any comments, go ahead and drop those in the chat. Otherwise, we'll jump in right now. So, EOS Energy Enterprises is the company. Ticker is EOSE. And let's see what they're up to here. All right. They use some of their offering to pay off some debt. That offering was when? Okay, when was that offering? $300 million. Not super clear. But they did offer $75 million in May at $4. So let's see that here, $75 million in May, right there. Up a lot. Okay. This is the company. Battery Storage Solutions. Grid scale energy storage. Okay. There's a little short report on them we should probably talk about. Solid earnings. Earnings per share. Incredible strength given the recent earnings. Let's see. Record quarterly revenue. Backlog continues. Margin improved. Very large net loss. Shut your bitch ass up about my writing style and tell me about why it's so strong despite that bad earnings right now. Excuse me. Let's see. 100% higher revenue than Q2. And a commercial pipeline and a backlog. Reaffirmed guidance. Okay, well, here we go. And this is the Trump's energy stock. Trump's energy stocks will help you retire. This is not financial advice. There's one stock that is about to jump up. They recently raised $75 million when they were a $4 stock. Now they're more than double that price. They just recently got through Q3 earnings with a doubled revenue from a year ago. And even though they still have a high net loss, the buying has been large, particularly given how weak the market has been the last few days in this early part of November. We've basically gone sideways in the market for the last month. With some major chop in between. So the company is EOS Energy, ticker symbol EOSE. Let's jump into the chart and talk about some of their Green and red flags. Mostly green, though. Maybe a short report.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
So this is a little bit about the company, EOSE. They are not profitable. However, a doubling of revenue and more orders means their business model is starting to gain traction. They also have a backlog, which is a big deal for a new company. And yeah, the losses are somewhat related to, financial engineering to sort of items rather than, if they just can't actually make the batteries and sell them with a reasonable margin. So they did use some of their money that they took to pay off a loan, but even still, big net loss is not good. So we'll jump into, their margin isn't great either, and they're spending a lot of money. There's a lot of things that don't sound great about this company until you remember that they're a startup, basically. And here's their market cap. It is $4 billion, but you can see they are high on the everything category. They need money. They are raising a lot of money. This is very common for companies that are very new, penny stocks basically, which is what this is. They raised $75 million at $4. So why am I talking about it? Because if they raised at $4 and now it's at $15, obviously this thing has a lot of room to grow. And here's May. So raising at $4, is bullish even then. Of course, they did have some profit taking, but since then it's now all the way up at 15. And this is what's most interesting, is this revenue doubling seems to be holding the stock up. People are buying this stock. It's basically gone sideways since the end of October. And if you look at the market, not that this is expected to totally follow the market is down like 6 days in a row, basically. This was a bounce, but we're even lower now. So the stock's not following the market. There are other stocks that are not following the market. This quantum security stock, LAES, somehow holding up as well, even though quantum itself, if we look at RGTI, just continues to sell off, looking like it might go even lower. So it's rare to see a company hold up like this. And we can guess, but that's not really the job description. The job description is find stocks that are holding up and then try to understand basically what they do to make sure they're worth getting into and not super dangerous. And I do want to mention, before I talk about some recent news, what they're up to, there is some risk. Like I've sort of noted that here. That's the whole point of this thing. Dilution means they sell shares into the market. And the more shares there are, the less the shares are worth, right? So yeah, they can raise some more money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they probably have been. I'm sure they have been, because they've already used 100 million of this dilutive instrument. This is totally normal to be able to do this, but I'm just saying they have a lot of opportunities to raise money that are all perfectly above the board because they've filed all these documents. So here's the deal. They're doing some good things. They got some money from an offering. They offered some shares for money, raised money, and they purchased some convertible notes, which is basically, it is debt. So they bought that back. They prepaid part of a loan, so paid off some more debt. And then that raised their cash level. But still, we'll see when this was, but it certainly looks like they need cash if they only have 100 million and they're burning 20 million a month. That's what it sounds like. Oh God, this is impossible to navigate. We'll just ignore that. So paying off debt is good, but I think they spend a lot of money. They have some serious partnerships. Talon is very legitimate. AI infrastructure is absolutely, the sector that's about to explode if it isn't already. If we just look at Cipher, Cipher was $1 down here in April, and now it's $20. They transitioned from a Bitcoin miner into AI infrastructure, hyperscaler. Riot and Mara not really doing as well, but Riot's up a lot still. Basically allowing NVIDIA GPU workloads to be allocated to researchers and startups, basically OpenAI enterprises who want to run LLMs instead of mining Bitcoin, which is much higher margin for them. So that's a positive for moving into that space. As far as what they're doing, well, they do battery storage. So you also need a lot of power to run all of those GPUs. And battery storage allows you to get power from a variety of sources and then store it and then allocate it to different facilities at a pace that is, able to be used. If the wind blows at night and then you need the power during the day, well, you have to store it in a battery. That's my understanding of it. So this is the company. We've talked about some of the risks. They definitely have some future opportunities. This is a lot of storage. I think almost a gigawatt hour. I mean, when we're talking about Sam Altman's needs, we're talking in the gigawatts. So this is a lot. EOSE is the ticker. The level is right where it is, basically, right here. This is definitely a level to sell if it goes below that, 1450. So if you like these ideas, hit that like. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. I'll post that in the YouTube posts. And if you want one-on-one help, head over to stockscommunity.com. You can join for $25 for 7 days.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
All right, let's see what else Chris Sain's got cooking for us here.
In your life, especially as it relates to investing and building wealth in the stock market, because what I got for you guys for 2026 is going to blow your mind, okay? But listen, back to my message today. Let me know if you made money. But God is trying to change your life, and the only thing between God and that change is you. God is trying to shift and do something new and different in your life that has never been done before. God has a plan to use you to invoke this change. It's all about you. It is all about you. He's trying to use you, not them over there, not them over there. You. That's why I need you to learn what I'm teaching you and showing you every day, because he's trying to use you to impact your family.
Massive earnings reaction on COHR.
You to impact your church. You to impact the kids in your neighborhood, at your school. God has a plan, guys. Listen, God is trying to tell you that he has a plan for you that is better than the plan you got for yourself. How many of you guys had a plan for yourself and all of a sudden you realize God was just doing nothing but chuckling and tickled at your little plan? Before God changes your life, he wants to change you though. Okay, so before any of this miraculous stuff happen, I always say this, guys. I love that y'all rock with Coach, but don't get it twisted for 1 second. If you ain't right in all phases of life, nothing I teach you will matter, because you not going to just make all this money from my plays and then you live like hell outside of here and then not give it all back to the stock market. Guys, you got to be on point. You got to be deep in prayer. You got to be in submission. You got to be crucifying your ego. You have to be doing these things, guys, that's going to make sure you can sustain the information and the nuggets of wisdom that's bestowed upon you. Okay, listen to this, guys. Do not ignore the signs. Do not ignore the signs in your life. We're going to hop into a quick story time real quick, okay? Quick little story time Coach got for you, because you need to hear more real stories from kingdom men that's from the trenches that do this though, okay? So don't ignore the signs. God, at one point in time, guys, was trying to get my attention before I arrived at this level that y'all see today. And as I often say, most people see the end result, but very few.
Sorry about that. Just a little chat GPT freak out there. Okay. So COHR is the company. Coherent. Looks like they have some major investments. So, offerings, partnerships, collaborations. Who are they connected to? I'm not sure they are connected to anyone super big. San Diego Gas and Electric. That's EOSE. Why are we talking about EOSE here? We're supposed to be talking about core, COHR. So, core, recent news, compare to Light and AAOI, talk recent earnings. Let's see here. Yeah. Talk their earnings. Got our wires crossed here. Started talking about EOSE again. There we go. Revenue was up 24% year over year. Yeah. They're selling their aerospace and defense business for $400 million. So connect them to NVIDIA. I know they're actually connected to NVIDIA, so that's why I said that. If you guys have any comments, go ahead and drop those in the YouTube. Otherwise, we'll keep talking. Clear connections. Collaborated with NVIDIA, developing their networking switches. Revenue is up. Selling their aerospace and defense business. So I don't know why they have a aerospace and defense business, but we won't jump into that too much. All right. Here we go. COHR. This one stock can change early buyers' lives. This is not financial advice, but analysts might say to buy as much as possible before November 10th. The company is Coherent. COHR is the ticker. They recently had over $1 billion of revenue, up 20% plus year over year. Sold their aerospace and defense business for over $400 million. They are collaborated with NVIDIA to develop switches, which is what they do. You need switches with GPUs because they need to connect, and optical switching is how you do that very quickly at the speed of light. This is not financial advice. This company is at the heart of the AI data center picks and shovels build out. We don't have to bet on ChatGPT working or not working, so don't be, stressed if you're not able to get secondary share opportunities. Not sure you want those anyway. COHR is a good idea in my opinion. Let's jump into a little bit about the company.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
So this is COHR. This is the revenue up 20% year over year, over $1 billion. And sure, was there a loss? If we look at the earnings per share, it's a beat. And the earnings reaction is awesome. I'll compare it to the market just to show how awesome it is. But when you do the GAAP accounting, I guess, they have to do that. That's the whole point. It's required. It does come out to be a loss. This is the non-GAAP earnings per share, I guess, which is what we got cooking over here. I don't know exactly what is what. I do know that if you get too jumbled into all of these numbers, essentially what you end up doing is making things up that aren't happening. So what we do know is that this company is the collaborator of NVIDIA's. What we do know is that this company is in the same group as LITE, which just has an awesome earnings reaction, and AAOI, which just had earnings and is coming down significantly, but has been moving up and has been choppy actually during this whole time. It's kind of in the same bucket as CoreWeave. If you ever hear me talking about buying CoreWeave, make sure to, slap me in the face or something, because this company has had everything going for it, $14 billion Meta partnership, and still selling off. So with all that said, Core and LITE are the leaders, AAOI more in the CoreWeave basket. And as long as LITE stays strong, I think Core can stay strong as well. This is the buying opportunity off of, I'd say, 150. As far as the actual close, it's off of 160. So it's great to let these candles close and to give an indication of why. Well, AAOI, it's down this much now. We'll see how much it's down tomorrow. It could be worse. And why would I say it's going to be worse even after it's down that much? Well, let's say you bought Meta on the dip. Oh dear. Next day you bought on the dip. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. So I think it's better to buy them when they go up after earnings. In general, you want to wait to buy stocks when they're going sideways. But after earnings, there's a lot of volume and buyer interest. So especially given the market pulling back the last week, that's a lot of strength in COHR. And I want to talk about the market pulling back because it's important to make sure we understand what's going on, or at least pretend to. This is what Anthropic thinks, the competitor to ChatGPT. October had the largest job cuts in more than 20 years. Worst October for layoff announcements since 2003. So that's pretty bad. That's today. Why are all the jobs getting lost? Well, they might tell us here, but the broader narrative is there's people using these LLMs like we're doing right now in this video, instead of using people to figure out what's going on. So instead of a bunch of people Googling information, all right, well, we're not going to subscribe to Bloomberg just to see this article, but those people are not, finding opportunities. So this is basically the narrative. Private jobs data, because the government's shut down, right, is all we got. And then, the market's down. This is interesting as well. We can look at the 10-year right here. If we look at /10-year, little jump here, sort of coming back. That's another important market indicator. In the beginning of the year, the market was selling off as well as the bond market. These bonds were getting sold as well. So that was bad. Trump was not only crashing the stock market, he was also crashing the bond market because other countries were figuring out that they essentially didn't want to own U.S. debt because they didn't believe the U.S. was good for it. So that's the problem with a president who increases tension. So not good, but on the short term, the bonds are going up while the stock's going up. So that's normally what you expect. The flight is from the stocks into bonds. Good to keep aware of, though. Also good, while we're here, talk about gold. So gold is sort of bottoming here after there was a ton of euphoria. So there could be some buying opportunities there as well. But despite all that, there is one stock that could change early buyers' lives. That is this stock, Coherent, COHR. This is the revenue result. This is the spot to buy it. 160 actually is more accurate. You want to wait for these candles to close. To give an example, Microsoft, let's say you bought it here. That was not a good idea, right? So an even better example. Let's see if I can come up with an even better example. Google, you bought it after it first went up. Suddenly you're down $20, so you do want candles to close. And that's kind of when we're talking about Nokia, that's why I'm talking about buying it down here instead of up here right after the profit taking. So that's coherent. That's the opportunity. And it's rare to see these type of moves. There are some other ones that I'll talk about. D-Dog is another one I'm about to talk about. App is okay as well as far as a recent earnings reaction. And I mean okay relative to others like Meta, right? So COHR is the idea. If you like these ideas, hit that like. If you want a free stock course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. And if you want one-on-one help, head over to stockscommunity.com.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
All right, let's jump into a little more
Consider
Kassane.
the journey. God was trying to get my attention because long before I got here, he already placed it on me that I was going to be here. But listen to this. I wasn't listening. I was doing my own thing. I was busy doing everything except what I was supposed to be doing. And then listen to this, guys. I used to work at Notre Dame, okay, in South Bend. I used to work at Notre Dame, and I remember driving to work one day on 8090. Anybody know the 8090 freeway? And it was the perfect storm. It was rain, sleet, hail, and snow, and black ice. And your boy was late for work, and I was speeding, trying to pass a semi, and my car flipped off the road. And in that moment, guys, Coach should have been out of here. There's no way I should have survived, still been living. Coach was out of here. Okay, car flipped over. I was stuck in the ditch. And all of that to say, after about 30 minutes of being stuck and somebody coming to rescue me, it was a few people that pulled over on the highway to rescue me out. Coach walked out of there unscathed, not a bruise, not an injury, not a headache, not a concussion, no nothing. Only thing that happened was my car was totaled. And when I had to sit down for however many months my car was in the shop, however many months it took me to get a new car, when I had to sit down, it was the first time I slowed down so that God can actually get my attention. Let me know if you've been there. Let me know, have you ever been on a move so much that God can't even get your attention because you doing this, you doing that, you going here, you going there. This was me, okay? This was me doing the most. And it wasn't until that incident happened. It was a car accident. My car flipped over and I was out the game. I was out of commission. I had no wheels. So I was stuck in the house. One injured, but I just was stuck in the house. And for that first time, he was able to remind me of my purpose. He was able to remind me that I was fearfully and wonderfully made. He was able to remind me what I'm supposed to be doing and putting in on this earth. See, sometimes he got certain type of kingdom soldiers that he needs to convey the message. I'm not no preacher. Don't get this twisted. I'm swagged up, tatted up, all of that. I'm not the guy that's, when I talk this kingdom stuff, I ain't talking about church, the traditional church. I am a dude that has my own ministry. I am a dude that has the favor of God over my life, and I understand that. And so the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I pop it, the way I kick it, the way people respond to me in real life, guys, it's something different, and you feel it when I'm in your presence. You feel it in real life. God was like, you one of them ones. You can bring more people to the kingdom than some pastors can. You can bring more people to the kingdom than some evangelists can. You can bring more people to the kingdom than some of these gospel singers can. Because when you are walking in your true, authentic...
Okay. So let's talk about this recent earnings for Datadog. Revenue of 20 million plus, up 30% year over year. There is one stock that is about to skyrocket. The company just put out Q3 earnings results. Revenues in the high 20 millions, up 30% year over year. They have integrations with Amazon Web Services, AWS, Google Cloud, and NVIDIA. The company is Datadog, DDOG, and even as the market sells off today and over the last week, it's been down a few percent. This company is strong. Let's jump into a little bit about why they're doing so well. And again, not financial advice.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, so this is the 20% plus year-over-year revenue growth. This is actually the last quarter. For Q3, they're guiding in this range. ChatGPT is pretty good, but occasionally it sort of, hiccups. This is the earnings reaction that I'm talking about. So the earnings per share is slightly lower than expected, but this buying activity, this volume is super. So on a 5-year chart, we're getting near these all-time highs. And for Datadog, which is a data, basically analytics company, that's pretty much all she wrote. I mean, sure, it had COVID euphoria, but now it is back to those levels, which is unusual for these stocks that had COVID euphoria. There's the breakout. Pretty amazing. And at this point, what you can do is basically risk this close, just closed at 190, and risk a few bucks to make 1020. So these are the numbers. Let's see if we can get some actual numbers here from Q3. All right, that's crazy. 800 million, up 30% year over year. This ChatGPT is absolutely, astounding at the amount of information it can pull. But sometimes it, is a little bit silly. This is obviously, okay, I get it. I'm the idiot. In Q2 2025, this is their report. I guess I'm the idiot. I don't know. I mean, this is Q2 earnings, right? I mean, now this thing is going to drive me crazy. We gotta maintain our advantage over AI and not let them gaslight us. This is true. This revenue, and this is a lot of customers. 4,000. Given that the revenue is big, but not over $1 billion, and they have 4,000 customers, that's a good vote of confidence. I mean, the reason OpenAI is so valuable, right, even though they don't have a lot of revenue, is they have 900 million customers, right? Whereas NVIDIA has 5. So they sort of need each other. They're symbiotic. They did achieve or raise full year guidance. Revenue is now expected up in the 3 billion plus for the full year, not just the quarter. And this is the earnings per share expected. So people are buying their cloud monitoring, security system, software. Software is not the sector to be in right now. Incredibly, it's AI stocks more specifically. So that's pretty positive for Datadog. A lot of software companies, if we look at their earnings result, I mean, ServiceNow just reported, and that's down. Salesforce about to report, but in the past year, just gotten crushed. Snowflake, we'll see this Thinkorswim Schwab product is incredibly slow, but this will load in 5 seconds here. This is where they're going to report out in December. So they're sort of the anomaly. They're like very, over $1 billion annual recurring revenue, SaaS product. So SaaS in general sort of seems like it's getting eaten by AI, but these AI companies are not public yet, so it's not really being seen except in the earnings. Oh my God, dude, how could this Schwab not work? All right, well, we'll see if that loads or if see, there it is. Oh my God. Snowflake, yeah, like I was saying, big rebound, doing pretty well. So we'll see how they report when they do report. But so far, it seems like the sector is showing signs of life with Datadog. So similar tickers to Datadog too, to make sure we can really drill in on how to compare these. These are the ones. New Relic. These guys are loved by developers. NEWR. So when that loads, we can talk about that. And then CDNS Cadence, Dynatrace. That one's been around for a while as well. And App Dynamics is a private company. Yeah, not to be confused with AppLovin. But CDNS and DT are definitely in the same breath. So here's CDNS. You know, since Teraflows, it is up 30%. Not great earnings reaction. And then Dynatrace, not a great earnings reaction either. So what you have to do if you buy this company is buy risking this level. You don't just buy, this as an investor grade stock. There are investor grade stocks you can buy. Buy a company that's gone sideways the whole year, and just, this is an investor grade stock, Sedge, where it just goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You want stocks that are smooth, App. This is the kind of company you can invest in for the midterm, the near term, the month long to 3 month sort of timescale. Rocket Lab as well. There are certain times when you can buy these stocks where you get it with very low risk and you just get a move that's incredible. This is 40% or more. So, and as far as specific comparisons, Reddit right here, you get it right after close, it just moves up. Netflix, you get it right here after this earnings close, it just moves up for the most part. So that's what you're looking for with Datadog. That's the level. And you do want to keep an eye on these peers. Keep an eye on Snowflake when it reports, but for the most part, keep an eye on similar earnings reactions and make sure to sell if it goes below this level. So, not financial advice, but I hope you like these ideas. If you do, hit that like button. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. I'll post that in the YouTube post section. And if you want to join a community of people on the same journey as you, head over to stockscommunity.com. Try it out for $25 for 7 days.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, let's inhale a little last bit of inspiration here.
Self, there ain't nobody in the world that can copy that. There ain't nobody in the world that can duplicate or replicate that. And so, guys, he sat your boy down. I'm sitting there, no wheels, out of commission. And he was like, remember you were supposed to write that book? He said, remember you were supposed to do this, and this. And guys, I had all that stuff written down. So it wasn't like I didn't write the vision and make it plain and knew what I was supposed to be doing. But here it was. I was doing everything except what I was called to do. And it wasn't until that sit down moment when he was able to finally get my attention, refocus me, that I got on my dean. And when I got on my dean, guys, I wrote a best-selling book, went on to write 2 best-selling books, went to launch my speaking career, went to first talking about stocks and relationships before it was popular, and then blew up. This is all back in 2014, okay? And the rest has been history, but some people will think you arrived today. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, God is trying to change your life, and the only thing between God and that change is you. God is trying to shift and do something new and different in your life that has never been done before. And I keep telling you, God has a plan to use you to invoke this change. Okay, God is trying to tell you that he has a plan for you that is better than the plan you got for yourself. But before God can change your life, he wants to change you. Before he could do anything in terms of the blessings he had for my life, he had to first change me, change my heart, change my mind, get me on point. So when I show up to these videos every day to pop it with you guys, to drop these nuggets of wisdom, to teach you guys technical analysis and risk management and how to trade and invest and build wealth in the stock market, guys, know that I am walking with the Lord. Know that I have uncommon favor on my life. Note that I ain't just showing up willy-nilly and getting lucky. I always tell everybody, everything that I do, I can replicate and duplicate. I don't have to get lucky.
All right, I love the message. Let's jump into a new egg, the retail online electronics company. This is what I'm looking at over here. I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at. I hadn't heard of VIPS right here. One of Newegg's competitors, and Chewy, sort of the peer of vertical e-commerce DTC successes. This is a good one to pull up the old dilution tractor because it's a little one. Nick. All right, so let's see. In California, e-commerce company, platform for IT computer components and all that. Can we give like at least one number? I mean, come on. Gross merchandise value rose 10%. All right. There is one stock that is about to skyrocket. This company is in the same category as Wayfair, eBay, ultimately Amazon. The company did over $800 million of gross merchandise value, so merchandise sold through its online electronics retail platform. That's a 10% plus increase over the previous first half of the year. We don't have the data for the rest of the year yet because it's only November. But this company is a smaller net loss. Of course, Amazon famously unprofitable for decades. And as the market sells off the last few days, this company is holding. Of course, it's a small cap, so that's what they tend to do, not follow the market. However, it's encouraging how strong it looks, and the buying opportunity is right now, in my opinion. It's not financial advice. Let's jump into NEGG, ticker Newegg.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 So this is Newegg. This is their partial results. Their net loss is way smaller, like way smaller. What is this, a quarter as big, or 20% this year? And their gross merchandise value also rose over 10%. So that's a big deal. They are obviously raising money because they're a little company. That's an at the money market opportunity equity offering to buy some shares as a retail investor and then have the stock price go down. Now, that's expected for these little companies. They raised $30 million with that as of July. The average price that they raised that was $30, $29. And we can probably see the reaction in the stock price here. Sometime in here around $30. So maybe that was here where they were raising a lot of that. Big move since then and a little pullback here. So even as the market was super strong in September, this stock went sideways and now experiencing a move up. So almost completely disconnected from the broader market or even from the Russell Index, the IWM, the small caps. So there are similar tickers, eBay with a poor earnings reaction, another online sort of electronics retailer that is sort of new to me, but maybe is well known to you, is VIP Shop Holdings, one of their competitors. And then Chewy and Wayfair are sort of in the same category. Kind of a penny stock category too, $10, $20. Chewy's a big company, but hasn't done much. Sort of famously went up in 2021 with the whole GME, Ryan, God, still be blanking on his last name right now. Someone can drop it in the comments. And then Real is another one in this category that's sort of holding up despite a not so great last 7 days. But this is following the market for the most part. I mean, down on the 10-10 Trump Chi Day and then down last week. So this is kind of despite, it's good to keep tabs on what other stocks in the sector are doing. But this one, is less of a sector play and more about what the chart looks like, which sometimes is just how it is. I mean, there's an opportunity. There's a risk level somewhere in here, $82. And, if it gaps up, that'll be tough to buy. If it sort of goes sideways, that's the best. If it gaps down, a little, that's really the best. If it gaps down a lot, you got to just sort of chill on it. So, if you're super, super in the weeds, you can look at here and say, okay, I'll buy somewhere in here. But I don't think it's smart to get super in the weeds. There's not a lot of volume. There's about 200,000 times 100, so $20 million of volume. There's enough for probably almost everyone watching this, but not for absolutely everyone. So keep that in mind. As far as other connections to big companies, they have a credit partner, and then they have obviously the electronic suppliers. So I think I've bought something off Newegg as well, maybe like a cord or something, but years ago. So they can raise more money. This is the ATM that keeps getting mentioned by ChatGPT. It's actually nice that they're mentioning it. I'm not sure why everything's expired here. So if they are going to raise money, they have to raise it through an actual offering rather than just randomly selling it out in the market. So that's actually bullish for us retail investors, because they can't just dilute the stock without getting another ATM that isn't expired. So all this to say, if you're super in the details, you can, check out the Edgar. I don't know if I've ever actually gone to edgar.com on a video before. That's not even the right website, is it? SEC Edgar. Whoops, that's not quite right, is it? SEC Edgar. You can search the filings. I'm just sort of explaining what's going on here. So what this website is doing is it's going through these filings, and if you type in NEG, there's the company. There's all the filings right here. They have to file all this stuff because they're a public company. That's where they're at. And here's the most recent filing from a couple weeks ago. And yeah, if you were super, Mr. Analyst, Miss Analyst, whatever, you would open all this stuff, but there are services that do that for you. So that's what's going on here. So if you go to filings, you can see this, all these filings here. And if you're even more high level, you just look at, how they present it up here, and you can say, okay, this is how much cash they have, about 6 months, which is not a lot, but they're also a startup. And then these are how they're raising money, who they're raising it with. And then if you're super, super high level, you can say, okay, seems like low risk to buy. And if you're super duper duper high level, you just check in with ChatGPT and note that, oh, they're raising money with an ATM. Great. All these small companies do that. So this is the idea, Newegg. This is the opportunity. It's a little speculative, but all these low price stocks are, and it's hard to recommend a stock in the market. Like, I'm not going to tell you to buy Meta on a dip when it just keeps dipping. That's crazy. So the main ideas right now are these earnings candle reactions where they have strong earnings. You can risk off this first day, and maybe you get a move like this that just keeps going up, 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 up for weeks. Or you can buy small cap opportunities right now that are setting up like NEG, NEGG. So that's the idea. If you like these ideas, hit that like. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, head over to, actually just hit that subscribe. All you have to do is subscribe, and I post it here in the YouTube post once a month. Head over to stockscommunity.com if you want to join the Discord. I'll see you there tomorrow morning. If you do that, you can try it out for $25. You'll see a couple testimonials from our superstars on that website. See you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 This is Sam